Hello guys, there is a company called Lulen Investments in Trophy Club, Texas. Trophy Club is not far from Forward, it's not far from Dallas area. Trophy Club is a city not far from Forward or Dallas area. And the company is again called Lulen Investments. And the owner is Farrukh AZIM and Huma Axim. That's the name. I have had a very, very terrible experience with these people, and I would like to denounce it because it is necessary for people to know who they are doing business with, who they buy a house from, or who they rent a house from. What is my experience? Lulen Investment has rented me a house, a single family house, and the house has multiple problems. The house has multiple problems. I rent the house from them in Forward, Texas. The house has so many problems. The habitability of the house is very questionable, is very unacceptable. The habitability of the house, meaning the condition of living, things that make the house to be habitable, to be livable, dwellable, are very terrible. And it is not fair that to citizens, to people like you and I, that will be renting from people and they'll be putting out in some very miserable situation. That's why I'm making this video. What happened to the house? The house, the first day I got in the house, there was no light for 10 good days. There is no light in the house for 10 good days. I signed the lease a week ahead of time. When I came to see the property needs some stuff that need to be fixed, which is common when it's not the day you're moving in or the day before. So I saw the problem, and the owner told me he builds 5 houses a month. Every single month he builds 5 houses. And he have a very nice car. He looked like a professional person, so I believe him. So he built 5 houses a month. And a week before I get into the house, that's more than enough days for him to fix all the problem, and everything should be ready before I move in the house. But guess what? None of the stuff were fixed. None of the problems that we saw when I came in a week prior to moving in and I signed the lease, none of the stuff were fixed. And when did they inform me of that? They informed me of that the day before. The day before I move in, when I already checked out of the place that I was living, I have a truck reserved to move in. I'm moving out of one place to this house. I don't have any other place to go. The day before I move in, before the owner informed me that there was a problem and the meter of the electrical panel was stolen and it will be a problem for my first day, and they told me to give them a couple of days and they will fix it. But guess what? 10 good days, I was in darkness. I'm moving the house, no light, and I was in the house for 10 good days, no light. Can you imagine living in America, in any part of America, 10 days without a light? For a house that you have paid a deposit on, you have signed a lease, and you are in the house for 10 good days without light. Can you imagine that? I have never experienced that in my life before. I live in New York, I live in Virginia, and now in Texas. I have never seen that before. That the light is out, fault of the owner, for 10 good days. You say, how did you stay in 10 days? They didn't tell me you're going to last 10 days. Otherwise, I would refuse to stay there. The first day, the day before I moved in, they told me there was a problem. They said, a couple of days. They say, oh, on the second or third day, it was a weekend. Saturday, I move in. They say, oh, on Monday, we'll get it fixed and everything. So I said, well, they apologize. They will fix it. I just saw them as professional people who fix the problem. Guess what? Monday came. They gave some reason. It didn't happen. They said, okay, we are working on it. The next day, 10 good days before I got light in the house. Can you imagine that? In America. Not in an underdeveloped country somewhere, not in a developing country somewhere, but in America, 10 days without a light. and I use a sleeping machine to sleep. I need a sleeping machine to breathe when I'm sleeping. I do not use that in 10 days. In those 10 days, it was very hot. In those 10 days, it was also very cold. Very hot, 82 degrees in the night. Very hot, a different day, 53 degrees. Very cold, a different day, 53 degrees in the night. And I was there, no air circulating. I couldn't open the windows so at least natural air can come in because they do not install a window screen. Because if I open the window, a snake can crawl in. Because there is a bush around the house. A snake can crawl in or anything can happen. A rat can crawl in, so I could not open the window. For 10 good days, I was in darkness. Not only that, after that, this is the worst. Hear this. There was a pipe, a sewage pipe that came out of the ground outside the house. So from day one, anytime I shower, human feces, or if you pee or you poo, whatever it is, it comes out of the pipe in front of the house. Human feces, doo-doo, comes out. Anytime you use the toilet and you flush it, it comes out of the pipe that is busted, a sewage pipe in front of the house. And of course, I informed the owner. Guess how long it took for the owner, Lulen Investments, Farrukh Azim and Huma Axim to fix it. They did not fix it until I had to contact the city code enforcement and make a report to all the damages of the house before they fix it. 3 months later, 3 months, exactly 93 days later before they fix the sewage pipe where doo-doo comes out anytime we use the toilet. The front of the house was black. I have a video to prove it. For 3 good months, the city code enforcement told me that they gave them 2 citations. They gave them an ultimatum, meaning they gave them a time to fix it real fast. They ignored it. They did not fix it for 3 good months. The kitchen didn't have a light. The kitchen and the dining room area was dark. I had to put a flashlight on my head before I can go to the kitchen for almost 2 months. I had to report it to the city, and it took 2 months before they put light in the kitchen. The master bedroom did not have a light in it, no power working in it. It took almost 2 months before they fixed it. One of the shower, it needed a glass door. It didn't have a glass door. They said they ordered for it. Up till the end of 4 months, they did not fix it. They did not fix it. So I could not use one of the showers in the house. The hot water was mediocre. Why is it mediocre? Because they put a water heater that is not adequate for the size of the house. The hot water does not distribute evenly. The hot water was not there. And it was terrible. It was terrible. They didn't put a rod in the closet where you can put your clothes. I had to fight them for that before they put a rod in the closet. They do not put a window screen. They do not put a window blind. The doors to the outside, there are gaps in between, and flies were coming in the house anyhow. I had to fight them before they fixed them. Lulen Investment, who do they use to do their work? They use handymen. They use low-class people to do their work. And if you rent for them, the house might look good on the outside, but the house is not solidly built with ethics, with value that somebody who's going to live there. The person has a family and the house should not fall on the person. They build the house with issues. They will hide the issue. Their goal is simply to make money. And I'm here to tell you to stay away from Lulen Investment, from Trophy Club, Texas, whose managers are Huma Axim and Farrukh AZIM. They have a lot of money, but they are very unethical people. They are very ungodly people. Please do not do business with them. If you have more questions, ask me. Because what I told you here is not all the problem. It is not all the problem. And they lie in court. We went to court. Let me add this one to it. We went to court. They lie. They completely lie to get the case. They want to win their case. And they lied in court. They lied completely in court. They told a different story to the lawyer. And I tried to fight it. But somehow I could not win. And outside the lawyer was telling me That's what they told her. She didn't know what's going on. That's what they told her, and this and that. The lawyer was telling me that I entered a court case. Lulen Investment, stay away from them. If you do business with them, that's your problem. I warn you. Thank you.